So go to the studio, they give me a track, and Brandon's there. So he comes in and kind of just feeds me the just the basics of the bass lines. And I think we cut two tracks in like 30, like 45 minutes. And then like I think it was Fall In and
Mm-hmm.
Emmeline, I think it was the first two. And then that's all they had for me to do. And then so now we're already done in like an hour. So he was like, Derek was like, hey man, like you got any more time to do anything else? And I was like, yeah, whatever you need me to do, and we can do it. So then we cut like three or four more tracks. And so I was there with them for like, just probably like 4 or 5 hours. But we were just talking about it. Everybody. We were just having a good time. Everybody, like Alicia, Mark, everybody, which they were there. So so then we're just talking. We were in the studio. We were listening back to the tracks or whatever. So then Derek was just like, "Hey man, like when we do shows in Jacksonville, with the new songs on the album, we can call you out again. You can do your song." So I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? Like, who would not want to go on stage to play? So I'm like, I'm here for it. And then so they finished the album. So now that's 2020. So now 22's coming up. That's when they start the touring. So then I get a phone call saying, "Hey, you know, come to rehearsal for you can go to, you can be on the show in Jacksonville. Because it's my hometown. I'm like right here, they're here, hometown, first show of the tour." And so I go to rehearsal, and I'm only thinking I'm just doing my one song off the first, because they released them in sections. So in the
Mm-hmm.
first album, Fall In is the only song on the album. So I'm like, okay, call me on stage. I do Fall In and I leave off stage. So I go to rehearsal, and then so Derek was just like, yeah, man, just catch on or whatever you can catch on and play. And I was just like, I know my song. He was like, you can play the whole show. So I was like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. So that rest is history with that. So I played the entire Jacksonville show, and then Kevy was just like, he can play in Atlanta. He can come to Atlanta. Kevy was just pushing that because they already have the tour schedule. They already have everything really just kind of just going. So it wasn't a invite to be with the band to travel with them. But Kevy is just Kevy. Kevy's like, I need more tuba. I need my guy to be here because it's an amazing sound. And once I started getting on stage and I started playing with them, like the rest of the band, they felt the same way. And that's an amazing feeling where it's just like, we need this. This is great. This is different, but it's new and it's amazing. So that's how I got on, cut a few tracks, played a few shows, and I still like, you know, I saw when I went out to Orlando, I went backstage and like, that's just like the long lost friend, like, yeah, hey buddy. It was just an amazing feeling, just to be a part of that, to have that happen. So it's like I'm a little part of the family, like a cousin to the band. So it's really pretty good.
Oh man, I appreciate all those stories, and I am hosting the right podcast. Let me say that. I definitely appreciate all that. That's good stuff all around. Like you're like they had like what they have like the fifth Beatle and or whatever you're like the 13th member of TTB, like kind
Right.
of
I
in and
I
out a little bit as needed upon
I,
request.
I like the most amazing thing. Couple things that happened that were great was at the Atlanta show, the second Atlanta show. I like to like look at the venue and just go around, and somebody just walks up to me and was like, "Adrian, can I get your autograph?" And I was just like, "Wow!" I'm like, that was just amazing to me. And then he goes online and he's just like, "I got like 12 out of 13 signatures," and it's just to know that I was just like added just for that show to be that 13th member, like you say, it's just like it's great. And even walking around in Orlando, somebody recognized me from the Atlanta show. Just I'm like walking through the audience and the guy was standing in front of me. He was like, "Are you Adrian?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was just like, "Man, great work on the album. Great." And it was just like that was surreal for me.